think got me too. There we go.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
All right. The next yarn is from Trendsetter, and it's called Facade. And Carrie travels with me when we go to look for new yarns. And you'll see why we fell in love with Facade. So part of it is dégradé shading, and part of it has what I call like little dots on it. And it changes at random. It's 2 different fibers. And what they do with the 2 different fibers is that they're each dyed differently. So one fiber is dégradé, the other one is speckled. And it's back to that chained component. So circular chain, one colorway goes down the center while the other one is chained. And when they want to change it, they swap the fibers. So it automatically goes on its own from dégradé to speckled, dégradé to speckled. I see it says it's not in focus. Is it any better? If I don't move, it kind of zooms in.
No, I think it's the Wi-Fi, Barry. See if you back up a little, if it makes a difference. No.
I can see it zooming in and out, but you get the idea behind what it does. It changes from dégradé to speckled in each of the color combinations. And what I love about it is in this top, it's done with short rows. It's 2 different color combinations. So one of them is the beige and copper, and the other one is the grass earth. And it's done with short rows, and they're not even. So I didn't want a flat bottom. It's shorter on one side and longer on the other, so that when you wear it, the hem doesn't go straight. It's a little bit angular. So it looks really neat on the body, the way that it fits. And it's the same thing on the other side. You can play with any 2 colors and they work. You get the continuous stripes in each, and the colors play one against the other. It's an easy top. It's done in reverse stockinette with short rows. So there's a short row section, a reverse stockinette section, a short row section, and they alternate. So it's allowing the colors to be an important part of the details, and each section is separated by 1 row of eyelet. We also did a classic jacket. And this has eyelet in it. It's called the boxed eyelet. So we let the colors just do what they do. But in order to break up the colors, we did an eyelet that's both vertical and horizontal to break it up. So again, it's just a classic jacket, but it's that little bit of eyelet detail that makes it fun. And then because I love to play and see what can be done with it, we took it and I used a pattern from Kieran Foley. He's an amazing, amazing designer. His stuff is very artistic. And this is tubular. So for those of you who don't like to purl, wave your hand, that's me. You do 1 row of pattern and 1 row of knit, and it continues all the way around, and you make it as long as you want. So that's what it looks like when it's on. It just gives you a really neat Art Deco. You can take it and pull it over your shoulders, depending on how you want to wear it. Obviously, it's not meant for me, but actually, I would wear it. I loved what the pattern does. If you don't wear things that are tubular, leave it open, and it becomes a wrap, and you can make it any width that you want. It's a big multiple of stitches, so you're in total control. But I loved what it did, and it's a Kieran Foley pattern, and it works great with Facade. And then Maggie's wearing the last piece that we just finished. I'm gonna flip you around. So it's done. It's done in such a way that it's knit sideways across the yoke. You pick up and you knit the bottom half down. And what that does is it gives you stripes that are going vertical, but the rib goes horizontal. And on the bottom, it's reversed. And you can't see her tush, but it is flared. If I could have her, if I could pick her up and put her on a chair.
That will be good.
But at the bottom, it is flared. So it's swingy and A-line. It has great drape to it. And that happens because it's open on the side. So we did that tail split on it so that as you move, it moves with you. So that's Facade from Trendsetter Yarns. Thank you. Then over the last couple of months, I've been playing with what to do with just basic yarns. How can I play with knits and purls and turn them into something different? And this is one of my favorite new pieces. It's a stitch that only is knits and purls, but it creates a pleat. And no matter what I've done to it, I've rolled over it, I've sat on it, I've packed it in suitcases, we've washed it, we've even tried to iron it or steam it, and it always comes back to a pleat. So you can take it and wear it, tuck it into a jacket. I think it's a great scarf for a man. It could be made longer. I did this one in Cardiff cashmere. I mean, if I get to go to my warehouse and pick what yarn I want to knit, I'm going to head to the Cardiff cashmere wall. It is beautiful, and I loved the feel of it. It's all the elasticity. And as you can see, it's knits and purls. And it has a great detail to it. So now that we got the scarf done, I thought, what else can we do to it? And we inserted this into the back of a jacket. So I love the detail. I love a flare. When you look at the front, it looks just like a classic jacket. Stripes going around the body horizontally using 2 different yarns for 2 row stripes. The yoke is picked up. I like doing lots of things with stitches going in opposite directions. And then it's broken up by putting the pleat down the center of the back. So as we get older, this includes me, we carry more stuff on the lower half. This allows it, as you wear it, to swing with you and to open up. So you get lots of extra space, but then when it's on and you're standing straight, it comes together and the pleat holds. So it just makes a really beautiful, very feminine insert into the fabric. And then in our line, so Trendsetter is just 35 years old, 35 years young. And this is Merino 8. It's been in our line, it's gonna fall over. It's been in our line from the very, very beginning. And it's 100% classic merino. What we've done here is 2 rectangles. They're exactly the same. Stockinette with a garter ridge in it, cables. It is Merino 8. And then they're folded and sewn in such a way that it creates an upper shoulder, like a little poncho. The pattern is written for different sizes. And the comments that I've heard about it is, I love the design, but as I get older, you know, hot flash, menopause, whatever you want to call it, what am I going to do with this? And the answer is, don't put it on. This is done at the very end, and it has a great neckline without that on there. It can get just a single crochet and it can be left open, and it's just as beautiful. And if you like the design, I've had some people say, can I just take one panel, make it bigger, and create a wrap out of it? The answer is yes. You still need the same amount of yarn because you're going to want double the distance. But that will absolutely work. And it's Merino 8. There's, I don't know, 1,000 colors to pick from, but it lasts forever. We worked with Jane Slicer Smith from Australia, and she designed for us 15, 16, 18 years ago out of Merino 8. And if you saw her pieces today, they look exactly the same. They hold up, great elasticity. The yarn is fantastic.
I can testify to the fact that this is really one of the most flattering pieces I've had on in just ages. I was able to have this in my store for the last couple of months, And I have worn it, my customers have worn it. It is just so flattering on whether you want the turtleneck or not. I personally love that turtleneck because I don't like what's underneath it, so I'm covering it up. But the neck option is up to you.
I'm muting you.
That's just been recorded. So. Oh my God. I'm so glad we have fun together. The next yarn is also from Lana Grossa, and it's a yarn called Cool Merino. So that's the yarn. And it is indeed a cool merino. It is a merino fiber. It is chained. Again, we're back to that tubular. You're going to see lots of tubular details. And you can see the shading. It goes from one shade into the other, but it doesn't just stripe. It's a slow, they call it dégradé because it degrades and shades from one to the other. And it has great elasticity. A 50-gram ball on this has probably 180 yards. So for a yarn that's Aran weight, to have a 50-gram ball of wool with that kind of yardage means they've done something in the creation of it to give it bounce and elasticity. And it is that chain space. And what we've done, come on, is a jacket with a slip stitch pattern. And what the slip stitch pattern does is it takes one stitch, it's elongated, and it moves one color and one shade over the other. And I loved what the effect did. So again, the eye, there's a horizontal stripe, but the slip stitch adds a vertical detail. It's boxy in style. It's got a very good length to it. It's really classic. It's one of those things that you take out of the closet, you throw on, you wear every day and you go. And I did the pattern for the entire body. And when it came time to the sleeve, I thought there's so much going on. Keep it simple, which for those of you who know me, I don't ever keep things simple. So stockinette for the sleeves, but the cuff goes back to that rib. Yes. And if you're not a jacket person, but you're an accessory person, this is the very same pattern done from edge to edge. So you can see the slip stitch. This is done in the yellow and charcoal gray. This color came in and I took it and said, this is going in my stash, no matter what. And I loved knitting it. And you can see that the stripes and the details now go, because it's side to side. That's what the piece looks like. I'm gonna steal you. And it's been designed in such a way that it can be a classic triangle, just a triangle down the body, or you can wear it so that it crosses across your body. So the point is down one arm and it goes across and it stays in place by the overlap that's there. It's a perfect accessory. If you travel a lot, if you're on the airplane, if you get cold, packs flat, and I can take it, pull on it, it bounces and it comes right back into shape. So Cool Merino Dégradé. Two pieces in the same design, the jacket and the triangle. And then I decided to play with the yarn because I am in love with the yarn. And I played with a stitch that almost looks like it's cabled. It looks like it's woven, but they're mitered and they move one over the other. I love what it did to the color. It's knit this direction. I did it as a cowl. The pattern's going to be written for many different things, but what you don't see is underneath it is stockinette. So depending on how you wear it and how you pull it, I loved what it did. Super, super soft. It's a great little cowl, very bendable. And it's 2 skeins. So it's very, very quick and it plays with color. And that's the Cool Merino Dégradé.
Barry,
Yes.
you had a poncho a couple of things ago.
Yeah.
May we see that again, and would you title it?
That's it.
There we
And it's
go.
just the Merino 8 cabled poncho. It should be on the paperwork that I gave out to everybody. It's one of the items in there. I just don't remember what I called it.
That's what you called it.
That's what
Yeah.
you called it. It's
Yeah.
$108 in the kit, and there are a zillion colors, like he said. Thank you, Barry. There's
No
one
problem.
other question for the Sunshine cardigan. So the question is the kit one color option, or are there mixed colors?
For which one?
The cardigan with the 4 different colors of
Cottonella?
Oh, Funshine. Yeah, again, on that brochure, there should be different color combinations. I don't have my copy of it here, I don't think. Let me see. Sorry, give me one sec.
we're looking too. Here it is. How about on the kit?
No, so we didn't pre-do color combinations. We just listed all the colors. So we've pre-done one color way, but we can certainly put other color ways together for you. There's all of, I think, 10 or 12 colors, and you need 6. So it's almost like tossing up 6 pennies, and wherever they drop on the pictures, those are the 6 that you pick. Yeah, I didn't pre-do it because there's not 6 that don't work together. So we left it up to everybody. If you need specifics, I can give those to you. That help a little bit? All right. So Gemini. Yep.
Barry, the short row top that we showed.
Yeah.
What is the name of that?
It is
I'm asking because it's not on my.
Facade short row top. 2 color short row top. I don't do fancy names. You know me. Everything gets a pattern number.
So
That's why I have no children. I couldn't name them. They'd have to have numbers.
thank you.
All right. So a year or 2 ago, when Carrie and I were working in Italy, one of the companies that we work with, they specialize in high-end, gorgeous, gorgeous yarns. And they showed us a cashmere and they said, this is where the direction is that we're heading. And it's recycled. And my instant response was, no, don't want to know about it. It's cashmere. How do you do that? You're going to ruin it. Until they put the yarn in our hands. And at night we go back, we eat first, that has to come first. And then we sit with our knitting needles and we play. And the minute both of us got this yarn in our hands, we knew why they did it. So if you've ever seen how sweaters are made, they do yards and yards of fabric and they layer them back and forth, making sheets of it. Then they put a template on top and they use a jigsaw to go around it. So you get fronts, back, sleeves, but there's all this waste. And in the past, they've taken it and thrown it away. What they've done now is, in order to save the environment, in order to save animals, and to do all the things that we need on our planet, they take all the extra pieces of fabric and they deal them by color in bags. And they take it and they add new cashmere to it. So it's 65 recycled, 35 new. They shred them together and respin it. And it is certified. There's a company that comes in and certifies all of their production. And it's been a yarn that I have loved to knit with. We used it on our knitting cruise when we went up to Alaska. It was one of the yarns that we've had. And these are some new designs. So it's called Gemini. And in Gemini, it comes in solids and then a tweed. And the tweed is, so like this one's olive, and the tweed is olive and gray. And I played with it just by putting a little garter ridge. You can really see it up on top, a little garter ridge in there. So it's not just plain stockinette. And I alternated the 2 ways all the way through. Kept it very simple. I just wanted a nice classic look. It's a more short cropped cardigan. The lengths are always optional, but I loved the way that the 2 colors played off of each other. And I really wanted to do more pieces that I call them grab and go. You're going to head out. What can I grab, throw on, and wear for the entire day? And Gemini is one of them. The more you wear it and the more you touch it, let people touch you and rub you. It's worth it. It gets softer and it feels even better. So this is the Gemini ridged cardigan. And then I keep getting asked, what kind of classes are you going to do? Or if I asked you to teach a class, what would you do? And this is Gemini. So this plays with all different kinds of stitch patterns. There's lace, there's yarn overs, there's drop stitches, there's ribs. And this is all Gemini. It's one colorway. And again, we kept it simple. It's a rectangle, it's a box. We've done some details on the neckline and a sleeve. So it's all about the stitch patterns and playing with it. Perfect class. So if you get bored with your knitting very easily, work towards getting one done. Learn the next and keep going. And it said, what's the pattern on this? It is Gemini patchwork pullover. Is Gemini worsted weight? Yes, it is.
And the pattern is called,
Patchwork pullover.
thank you, Barry. I've knitted a lot with Gemini. I absolutely love Gemini. I've maybe done 4 pieces now. So I highly recommend it.
And was that color a new color, Barry? The one that
No,
you
it's the light. It's actually the
Oh.
dark teal. It's just the
Okay.
lighting in my office. I'm sorry. It is the
Okay.
dark, dark, dark teal.
Okay.
Barry, there's
Yeah.
just been a posting that they can't see the bottom of any of the sweaters, so maybe they need to be pulled back a little bit on the
Give me
mannequin.
1 second.
Yep.
All right. So this is Maldives, and Maldives is a cotton in the collection that we did about a year ago. One of the challenges I face is I love a yarn. It's not time to let it go from the collection, but what can I do to reinvent it? And I loved what happened here. So Maldives is a little textured. It's almost like a terry cloth. And the border is done with blink and chin chin. And it is A-line, so that the inside section, there's decreases along the side edge. When you wear it, it stays perfectly straight. But when it's on, you get the A-line effect to it. And that border is on all of the pieces. So it's a really beautiful frame. So when you're walking, you wave your hi to a friend, you go to put a purse on or something, the details follow through. And it's not often that we put details on the side. And that detail goes all the way around all of the pieces. I love the fit, and it's every direction that is framed with the 2 yarns. So this is Maldives, Blink, and Chin Chin, and there's gorgeous, gorgeous color combinations to be done for this. Well, now we lose the top. You're poison. Let's see, how does that work? There we go. Yay. And this is Diversa. So Diversa was a yarn from last season. They've done new colors and they've done what they call the degradé style. So that'll be coming out. And I just wanted something patchworky. And I know that you all know how cuckoo crazy I am. In trying to put colors together, there's like 18 colors. So I took the color card home, I took balls of yarn home, and I laid them all out over the island in the kitchen. And all I did was match the colors to the stone in the island and went, wait, I could knit a sweater that matches the island. Okay, those are my colors. So in the photograph, when you see it in the book, the model is sitting on the island and her sweater matches. Now she has to live in my house forever, which is not a problem. But anyways, that's how we pick the colors. Just find something you like. It's 4 different colors. It's all stockinette, and it's just playing with placement. So these originally, we talked about doing them even. It became too boxy. It's placement, it's detail, and it's shape. And this is 4 colors of Diversa. Front and back. Again, just really easy, really, really wearable. And if you've knit with Diversa, you will want to knit with it again. It's an amazing, amazing yarn.
Just as a reminder, everybody, that on the email that we send out, there's the attachment is there. And all of these things are photographed on there, like the last photo that Barry showed you. Here are all of the color combinations that are available. So if you've not taken a look at that or not had an opportunity to print it out, all of the things you're seeing are going to be on those handouts. So just as a reminder.
And are they on your website?
Yeah, they are on the website as well.
There you go.
So in Loving Diversa, there's another yarn from Lana Grossa, and it's called Mosaico, and it looks like a mosaic when it's all done. So I played with two colors, a yellow and a celery, and in the inside is Mosaico. So it's solid, and then it's 2-row stripes. It goes all into Mosaico that changes all on its own, and then it reverses out and goes to the green. I love this sweater. It's got texture, it's got color. I love the placement of the colors. And there's some fantastic color details in it. Just a real classic pullover. And the question that the model asked me was, what if I wanted it as a cardigan? I don't like a lot of pullovers. Can it be a cardigan? And the answer is absolutely. Split the front, nothing happens to the pattern. It'll break a little bit because you're going to have to put a border on it, but it would be a gorgeous cardigan. So if you're somebody who doesn't want to pull things over your head, it could also get a V-neck very, very easily, and it won't change it. It is a fantastic sweater. And then I love playing. One of the things I learned from Laura Bryant, and we've been knitting together, we're friends. She owns Prism Yarns. One of the things I learned from her is what she calls an ABC. They're 1-row stripes. So you have 3 different yarns. You cast on with A, join B and come across, join C and come across. And so the yarn is sitting there waiting for you, and you just pull it up the side. And what it does is it creates a color combination unique to the 3 that you put together. And so this is the ABC poncho. It is cast on right there. And it is 3 different yarns. So it's Avio, which has a little bit of a thick puffy to it. It has Stride, which is a thick and thin wool. And it has Kinsale, which is an Irish tweed. So you don't get a lot of any one fiber, you get bits and pieces of them. It can be left open and be a wrap. It's buttoned, so you put it on the side and you have a great poncho. And now you can see colors one way, stitch pattern the other. One row is complete knit. You don't even worry about it. The next row, knit 7, purl 7. And that's what's creating the effect of the rib. So you can leave it open, you can have a poncho, or okay, it's not that difficult, Barry. Here we go. It can be worn as a cape. And you just have the buttons go down the front. So it almost looks like it's a cardigan, but your arms are underneath, and that's the shaping on it. And now you get stripes horizontal and the rib vertical. So this is the ABC done as a wrap, a poncho, and a cape. And we've taken the same idea and done it as a pullover. And this is knit from sleeve to sleeve, from side to side. We did it with a shirt tail in the back. And you can see how those ridges come up, how the color changes play a part of it. And in the pattern, I kept it as a boat neck, but for those of you who want V-neck, the pattern is written also with a V. But I love the combination of the colors. And if you look at the flyer that we put together, there are some neat color combinations. This was one of the features of our knitting cruise to Antarctica. And the pullover was the design that did the most, that people loved the most. And I'd say half the people that started it are done with it. The rest of them are getting pretty darn close. But it's looking at those colors, looking at the details in the piece of fabric that's being created. And if you're an accessory person, using the same 3 yarns, this is the cowl. So it's also done as an ABC. And I know Carrie's gonna laugh, but I did it on the diagonal, okay? I have to do something on the diagonal to make me happy. So it's ABC, it's 1 row stripes, but it's with knits and purls, increases and decreases. So this is the ABC diagonal cowl, and it's 1 ball of each yarn. And the yarns are Stride, Avio, and Kinsale. 3 really beautiful yarns. And in the flyer, we put color combinations together for you. And there's a yarn that's been in the line for a few years called Sophio. If you haven't knit with it, you've been missing out on one of the most delicious yarns to be in your hands. It has an elastic core, and the fibers that go inside are merino and cashmere, and they're not spun, so they're open fibers. And as the core is being twisted, it injects the fibers inside. And when it's washed, the heat of the washing sticks it to the elastic, but the fiber itself blooms and is delicious. Super, super soft. And we've done some new things out of it. And this is the piece that I wanted to feature today. It is classic. Okay. It is ribbed at the bottom. It's a wide rib. It is stockinette in the middle, and it's ribbed in the yoke, but we did it so that the collar keeps the rib going up. It could be for a man. It could be for a woman. We've done the sizing for everybody. But when you put this on, you are never going to want to take it off. It just feels insane. And you're going to see a lot more things, including new colors. I found out the other day that they've done 6 new colors in Sophio, and they'll be coming out probably around April or May.
I have felt this sweater in the warehouse. This was so incredible. Usually we've knitted this yarn kind of loose, and it can be textural. It's very soft. This was knitted down. And I said to Barry, what yarn is this? What did you knit this out of? It was incredible. I thought it was, well, it is cashmere. It's a lot of cashmere, but I thought it was all cashmere. It's incredible. It's an incredible classic sweater that feels scrumptious.
I'm also going to remind you that if you go to our website, greatyarns.com, and you just click on yarns and type in Sophio, you're going to see about 6 other things that I did in store with that yarn. It's really one of the most versatile yarns I've ever had. It's so reasonably priced and so
Yeah.
elegant. There just aren't enough accolades for it.
Yeah.
It's a winner.
So this new one is fabulous.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that sweater is, I
Mhm.
might actually make something for myself after knitting for, we won't say how many years it is, but, and then one of the last things I wanted to show you. So we had Gemini. So the recycled cashmere. I kind of bypassed this, and I don't want to. So it's a scarf done in corrugated rib. So it's 6 rows of stockinette, 6 rows of reverse stockinette. Very, very simple. It's about the yarn, but I loved the little pocket that we put in here, so that you run the tail through, you pull it, and it just gives you shaping in every direction. I love the detail that sits at the collar. You can pull it up and do it like that. It can be thrown over your shoulder like a Yankee Doodle soldier, or what do they call it? You can do a lot of different things with it. I've also taken it and pulled it through a second time. There's so many different ways to wear it, but this is something I would absolutely wear. I loved the feel of it. Making it, it took 2 nights to do. It was all about the yarn and getting the yarn in my hands and playing with it. And the little pocket is optional. If it's not something you like, or you're making it as a gift for somebody you don't think they're going to want it, leave it out. It's done at the very end. So it's just picked up and merged together. But it is a real simple pull-through pocket. And I've got one more thing to show you, because I always have to tempt you with something that's not in the brochure. You know, why give you everything all at once? So Lana Grossa has been doing a yarn called Silk Hair forever. It's been in their line since day one. And in the new collection, they're up to color 220. So that's a lot of colors. They're not all still in the line, but every time they do seasons, there's always new shades. And they just sent us this new cardigan. And I think the colors are spectacular. It's a classic jacket. It is plain stockinette. It's got a great rib at the bottom, but I love the use of the colors. And even better, you put this on and it's got pockets. I'm going to throw this on Maggie. I may have to turn my screen and hopefully not lose anybody, but all right, you can hopefully see, if I'm not standing in front of her, the pockets and the length and the detail. Again, knit it, make it, keep it forever. You can have slits on the side if you want, but you put this yarn on your body. If you don't like mohair, it could be done with Seta-Suri, which is brushed alpaca and silk. The yarns are interchangeable and they both have gorgeous color ranges. But if you felt silk hair recently, it is incredible on the body. So again, silk hair, Seta-Suri, either one will work. And this is a new kit that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. But we just got the sweater and I had to show it to you today. And that's it. That's what we've got for you. All right. Okay. Anything I can answer, anything I can,
So Barry,
please.
the last sweater that you showed, the one you said that people were knitting on the cruise.
Yeah.
And they were almost finished. Could I see that again, please?
Sure. The pullover.
Yes. And what's that called?
It's the ABC pullover.
Okay.
And Barry,
It's-
which colorway is that one? Do you happen to know?
Yep. It is. It's called I'm Ready.
Okay. Does it come in a kit, Fontiel?
Yeah, everything in here that comes in kits. So in this flyer, there's 6 to 7 different colorways that we've put together for you. I will
Okay.
say that the only question that came in on it is some people said, I don't like the hem or I don't want the hem. When they put it on, they kept the hem. If they didn't put it on, they thought that it was going to be like a flap. But when it's on the body, it just covers the tush. It doesn't come under. You're in total control of length because it's knit side to side. So if you want it there, but you want the whole sweater shorter, you just cast on fewer. And it's in multiples. There's repeats, and it says in the pattern what the repeat is. I know there's a couple people on here that are knitting it. So if they want to speak up and talk about it, please do, because I think everybody's loved it so far.
Mary, here's the purple one, the purple colorways,
Yeah, if you can
and I'm
get to
getting ready to
Barb Bunk, she's,
split for the V-neck. The purple's very pretty and soft.
there you go.
Soft.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
look at that. That's beautiful.
That's the back of it. Here's the front.
Yeah.
It's fun
just
to work on.
that whole ABC aspect of it is you are creating a piece of fabric that is so unique. And if you took 2 of those colors and added a different third one, it changes as well. So we just put 3 together that we liked. I played color on color in order to let the textures be a part of it, but it creates an incredible piece of fabric. And it's a technique that you will fall in love with and use for other things. Where you have to be careful is, excuse me, you have 3 yarns. One on one side, one on the other. I keep one in the middle. And I do a row or 2, and then I flip them. Because if you just keep turning and turning and turning, you get the propeller. And then you'll spend more time undoing your yarns than you do on knitting it. And that's not a whole lot of fun. So a couple rows and move your yarns, or have somebody there and let them move them for you. I mean, that's really the best way. If you've got somebody that can be your yarn Sherpa.
Yarn Sherpa. Okay.
Barry, I have a question about Sophio.
Yeah,
You said there were 6 new colors coming out.
Yeah.
Do you remember approximately what they would be like, or?
I haven't seen them yet,
Okay,
but Carrie and I gave them color samples a few years ago, and we asked for brights because they've kept everything kind of muted and shaded. We asked for, like a fuchsia and a purple and just some bright colors to up the whole color range. So I'm hoping that that's what they'll do. I won't see it till next week, but when I do, I'll take a picture and get it to Fontel and we'll post it up to everybody.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Beautiful collection.
Barry, I'm not seeing, you had the Gemini that was the lace. I guess you're calling it the class project or something.
Yeah. Let's see. Did I put it in here? Striped bridge cardigan. I may not have. Anything is possible with me. You would be right. I've got the pattern and I can tell you how much yarn it takes. Maybe. I'll email it out. How's that? I'll give it to Fontel and we'll pop it up as a new addition to it.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
then the piece behind you, that's the short roses.
Yeah.
I didn't check if that one's on the list.
It
I
is.
guess it is. Okay.
No, that one's not on here either. No, it didn't make it. I was asked to stop at 18 and I don't pay attention. I don't like rules, so I kind of do my own thing, but then I live to pay for it. So you'll get an email update with the new pieces in there.
Wonderful. Thank
Yep.
you.
No problem. I know it takes in the different sizes 5, 6, 7, or 8 skeins of 2 different colors. So you can go on the website, you can pick 2 colors and just tell Fontel how many you need and we can kit it for you. The sizing on it is 38, 44, 50, and 56. And it's
the
called
ease-
Facade Short Row Pullover.
Okay, and the ease on that looks like it could be a few inches here.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, the size, I think in the instructions I wrote that the finished size includes the ease. So it just
Okay.
depends how much extra you want, if you want it. I had 2 people here yesterday helping me try and put this together and they both tried it on and it looked great on everybody, especially the angled
Mhm.
border. And in the flyer that we send out when we update it tomorrow, you'll see the picture on the model and it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the very nice note. I appreciate it. And I really appreciate the opportunity to spend the time with everybody. I hope you all know that, yes, our idea is to sell yarn. It is what we're here for and what we do. But what I love most of all is that we've all become friends. And I've had the ability to email and text and talk with people. And I make sure that the things that you're doing, and Fontel as well, it's all about fit. Yeah, we want to sell you yarn, but if you don't make stuff and you don't love it and you don't wear it, eventually you will stop. So we appreciate the opportunity to help you make things that actually work for you and your lifestyle. It's a very nice gift.
I want to see it all over again.
If I can get my other computer to work, I will go and do something and zoom it and put it up there for you so that you can actually see everything the right way. But
But
life was
this
just complicated today.
recorded. Where and how can we access the recording?
It'll be on Fontel's website.
Okay, right. And another quick question, Barry, you had Merino 8. I'm
Yeah.
currently knitting with your Merino 6.
Uh-huh.
How much heavier is the Merino 8?
Well, the 6 is DK and 8 is worsted. So it's 2 extra plies. It's a third thicker.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're
The
welcome.
Merino 6 is gorgeous. I'm
Isn't
knitting
it
one of your
gorgeous?
sweaters.
Yeah. It's what the merino that they use, the single ply